take control back from me and I'll sing out some altitudes and that for you as we come in. So jump over to Navigraph here.
Oh shit.
Just give it a second.
Pretty sure we're gonna crash.
You overstress the aircraft and cause critical damage. We die. Okay. That's not good.
No, and I have very little control over the aircraft right now. It is not responding too much.
Right. You taking autopilot off?
It is off, yes.
What's your airspeed?
112.
That's not very
Oh,
fast.
I got a whole lot of failures. Oh, the aircraft just stopped. Let's have a look. What's going on here? Fuel is off. What?
Hey?
Fuel is off. Parking brake got put on, and I have to restart the engine.
Right. Yeah, well, I just got overstressed the aircraft and died.
Oh, right. Well, I'm still up, but I'm sort of... I've got one hand on the yoke, trying to keep it level, and I've got other hand on the mouse, trying to... start the engines, which they're on their way. If I can not fuck this up. Okay, we look like we're all good. Okay.
They've started again.
The landing gear ended up down, too.
It's basic. It's put you on the ground.
Put me on the ground, but in mid-air. But it all happened at once, and all the warnings went off all at once.
And that would be because
stall, no heat. What does that mean?
no pitot heat. So over on the, are you back in the driver's cockpit?
Yep.
Okay, on the driver's side. So down by your left, where the inertial separator is. There's two switches, left and right. Make sure they're on.
Okay, and I've got bleed. Oh, bleed. Yeah, I need to turn that on.
Yep. So bleed needs to be turned on.
And I've got one more on the list saying auto SEL. Maybe that's
auto. Probably not. This is.
Just cancel that.
Is the engine running?
It is again. Yep. And I've got control now. Oof.
Nice. So up on your overhead panel is the fuel selector back onto auto.
Ah, no, it's on manual. Alright, auto, there we go.
And your AP...
that was off, now it's back on. Oh, God.
And the ignition should be in auto.
Yep.
And the boost pump should be in auto.
It is now.
Okay, so you've got fuel flow. It's automatically selecting from each wing tank to keep everything balanced. Your landing gear's up, your flaps are stashed away.
Yep, that's all good.
Whereas pitot heat's on, turn your inertial separator off if it's still on.
Yeah, that's off.
And your bleed air pressure is right, and you're in nav mode. How's your autopilot?
I'm in nav mode, but I can't seem to enable autopilot even though it's on. Like the AP trim is on. I'll turn it off and back on again and see what happens. No, it still won't turn on. I think it's bugged because it stopped working just a bit before when we switched control earlier. And ever since then it's been saying that it's off.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to like actually switching controls very much.
No, well that last one was disastrous. More disastrous for you than me though. Yeah, you got sucked out of the aircraft.
Door came off, explosive decompression.
Yeah, that's it. Don't know how I survived that, but anyway.
So your altitude pre-selector at the blue one above
0.
That's not good. I'd put that back up to about. Now I think. Let me just go to Navigraph, and I can talk you down, man.
Yeah, cool. I need to do it without autopilot.
I have the power. Well, I was going to see if we can get the So if you're heading towards Vasra, set your altimeter for 8,000 feet.
Okay.
Is Vasra next waypoint in your MFD, on your flight plan?
Just give me a sec. Nothing is on my flight plan. Oh, hang on, I'm having trouble with trim. Just give me a moment. Bank and it wants to nose up, and every time I change the trim it noses up and banks again, and I don't understand why. Is there any reason why I might want to bank all the time?
Well, I can only think if you've got uneven fuel load in the wings.
Oh, that could be.
So you have a look at your fuel.
No, they're level with each other, the little gauge.
So it might be a case of the rudder trim. So if you've got the rudder trim set to the switches on top of the right part of your yoke, just behind your autopilot.
Oh, like on my actual physical yoke?
Yeah, on your physical yoke.
Oh, okay. I don't have those set to that. I have them set to throttle and mixture.
Yeah, no, that's cool. No, I'm not 100% sure why it's twisting. So have you got that red blinking AP light on your FMA?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I think we've got this autopilot fucking bug. It's shit its pants. I reckon you can still bring this in though, man.
Yeah, probably.
Now,
you should have seen what happened when it flipped out though. Like the plane did a full nosedive upside down. It was crazy.
That's the altitude bug. Now it's showing me on the Navigraph, because I'm actually watching you on the charts, that you're flying basically east and you're actually starting to turn.
Yeah, I'm sort of turning constantly, because every time I have to do anything I have to kind of let go of the yoke a bit and then I end up turning again.
It's fucked up, man.
Okay, I got autopilot. Oh no, I had autopilot on and then it switched itself off again. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's what happened to me over in Ireland, just before I couldn't get the autopilot to stay on.
Oh, and every time I switch it on it messes with the trim.
Yeah, it will, because it's trying to take over and do something. Have you got anything on the MFD for a flight plan?
It is there, yeah, I just, nothing's selected. I'll see how I go. I'm sort of having to one-arm the different things here. So which one do I need to be activating now?
Do go direct to Dalar. Because you're so close to Vasra that it'll just spaz out trying to get to it.
Oh, okay, that's selected.
Okay. For your altitude, you may as well try coming down to 4,500 feet, because you need to be at or lower than 5,000 at Dalar, or at or above 4,000. So 4,500 sounds like a good thing. It's so funny watching us on a chart. It must be like a radar air traffic control.
Yeah. Yeah, how to control a plane that is just so erratic right now. This is really hard. Like, it is actually really hard to control right now. It is being
horrible. Don't give up. We'll get this.
Oh yeah, no, I'm pretty keen to make it.
Okay, it looks like you're coming around east.
I'm trying to turn now. Probably turned the wrong way, but I just wanted it to stop banking left, so I thought I'd turn right.
That's fine. Because you don't have any rudder, do you?
No.
So that's why it's backing out and trying to go. Trying to keep turning on you, I would say. Yeah, so if you've got no, but now we want it to be an autopilot to let the autopilot take over.
Fix it. Yeah.
Take over the rudder controls. So you've still got AP blinking red?
I do, yeah.
Not sure why that hasn't gone away in case you, because probably just means that yeah, your autopilot's been turned off during a flight that's been set up for GPS and FMS. You should probably turn it on. Have you configured everything else, like your altitude set for 4,500?
Yeah, everything's set, yeah, my vertical speed is set.
Yep.
But,
Is there anything turned on at the moment? Is your nav mode turned on?
Nav mode is on, yeah.
Okay, what else do we have?
The only two things are on is nav mode, vertical speed, yaw dampener, and then autopilot won't engage.
Yeah, or it doesn't stay on. Try engaging the autopilot by clicking on the autopilot button in the game.
Actually, that's what I was doing. Maybe I should try the yoke, because I wasn't actually pressing the yoke button.
Do it.
Oh, yes! Oh, that worked. Okay. I can't believe that. I didn't think of it. I was pressing the button because I was used to having to do that while I was co-pilot, because the button on the control wasn't working. Right, cool. Okay, so that fixed that.
So you should be screaming in towards daylight.
Yep, it sure is.
I can see it. We'll take a left-hand turn for Dumont. What's your altitude?
It is 9,900.
No, you need to get that shit down. You need to be half that.
Yeah.
Just go straight for 3,000 feet on your altimeter pre-selector, blue one, so that it's 3,000, because your next stop is Dumont, and that needs to be at 3,000.
Alright, I'm going down very quickly.
Yeah. Plumb it like a rock.
Yeah.
Watch your airspeed, don't overspeed, so if you need to crank the throttle right back, do it.
Oh yeah, getting pretty fast there.
Yeah, you don't want to overspeed this one. Looks like you're starting to turn left back on the course.
Yeah.
Lovely. What's your airspeed?
250.
That's okay. Altimeter?
8,200.
What's your rate of descent?
1,950.
Okay, crank it up a little bit, so you're about 2,500. As in that's your rate of descent, and just to ease right back on the throttle, you can probably take it back to 40 or 50% toward. What you can do in times like this, because you're not far off Dumont, but you're still probably, 6,000 feet?
Maybe 6,200 feet.
What I'd suggest, mate, is take it off autopilot, just keep flying the way that you are, and do your best to do a loop.
Loop?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what that's going to do is bleed off a whole lot of altitude while you do the 360. If you get it right, you'll pretty much come back onto Dumont. You can use your map to help you, and then re-engage your autopilot when you're about 3,000 feet at Dumont.
Shit, I'm getting overspeed. My bad. Been going down too quick there. So I just dropped just below 3,000.
Okay, you want to hold at 3,000. Keep bringing it around so you can see where you're going, like Dumont on the map.
Yep.
is going to give you a little bit of breathing time because your next stop is Erden, and Erden is at 3,000 feet. As long as your altitude hold works in autopilot, you can basically switch the, as soon as you start coming around, go back onto nav mode and autopilot, and just make sure that that 3,000 is locked into your altitude. Keep your speed around 200 knots if you can, because once we get to Erden, you're basically onto the ILS, or onto the localizer anyway. You won't pick up the glide slope for a little bit longer. So you want to start, once you get closer to Erden, bring it down to about, it says here a maximum of 185 knots.
Alright, 190 right now.
Oh, perfect. Just keep it at that. That's fine. What's your wind doing?
Wind. 17 knots at 233 degrees.
Okay, so it's blowing from your right wing.
Yes.
Less. That's actually a little bit of a pain in the butt.
Yeah. Crosswinds. Nice.
Yeah.
It's alright, this is the ultimate challenge mission. We'll get it done.
Okay, so you back on autopilot?
I am, yes. I just switched it on then.
Okay, and you're back on nav mode, eh? Yeah.
Yep. Oh, something just disengaged itself. Oh, there we go. Oh no. Oh dear. Okay, so what's happening right now is I can't engage autopilot while your dampener is on. What I did was, after I just said, yeah, autopilot is engaged, I just clicked your dampener, it disengaged, and then I couldn't get it engaged until I disabled your dampener again, and then I engaged it again and it's fine. So that's something good to know.
Yeah.
If ever this happens to you, that leave your dampener off.
Right. And it's just damper.
Oh, damper. Oh, I thought, oh, okay. So what's the damper mean then?
Well, your damper, it's like the dampers in a car, which are just your shock absorbers.
But doesn't that dampen the shock?
Yeah, it controls the rate at which your springs compress and decompress in a car. So on this one, what it's doing is it's basically controlling the rudder enough. It's trimming the rudder.
Yeah.
Okay, so you should be able to, any second now, since you passed Erdan, switch over to the localizer on your FMS. So go from FMS to LOC.
Yep.
So it should come up as green.
Looks all good.
Okay, and you're all nicely lined up and established on it?
It doesn't look like it. The line's not solid, or the middle part of the line is off to the right.
But not by much, at least looking at what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean it's... Actually, if you look at so there's like the plane icon in the middle. It's on the second dot to the right.
Okay, so you're about 4 miles on the piss, because each one of those dots is about 2 nautical miles. Okay. Bring your speed down to about 100 knots or so, and click the approach mode, because you're just about going to be over the top of the glide slope.
Okay, I'm in approach mode.
Can you see your green glide slope dot?
Yes, it's at the very bottom though.
Ah, you've gone over the top of it.
I'm at 2,900 feet.
Yeah, you should be at 1,700 at Igala.
Oh, by now. Oh, okay.
So you can disengage your autopilot and do another lap back out to Erden if you like.
And the game just crashed. Fuck, as soon as I disengaged autopilot.